All right. Welcome back to Eyes Open Media. Let's talk about black people, colored people, African Americans, black Americans, whatever you want to call us, the Hebrews, the real Jews, whatever you want to call black people, right? We know what's going on in the world. We know, that black people are hated on by so many different, and it's because of the media. Number one, the media has trained the world to hate the black person, right? It doesn't matter where you go, doesn't matter, no, of course, some places where you go around the world, they absolutely love black people, right? And that's just in some areas, right? And there's people in America that really, and that are from other cultures that really, really love black people, right? But it's one thing to love black people and to help black people, right? Because I mean, you could be. Let's just make an example. A lot of white women love black people, right? They love black men because black men are athletic. They have great, built bodies and things of that nature, right? They're tall. They know how to dance. They have swag, and whatever the case may be. White women are attracted to that, right? And because black people set most of the trends around the world, and they're the most copied people around the world. That's attractive to a lot of Spanish women, and I consider Spanish women black, any color, they're black people, right? And then but that it's a very attractive to white women. Okay, so but here's the difference though. There's a difference between being attracted to somebody and being able to date somebody and marry somebody, but then not say nothing about what's going on with them, right? If you see black people being killed by cops and being discriminated, the laws are against them, and you keep quiet as a white woman, and you have a black husband, then you are not really for black people, right? You like black people, you like hanging around black people, you like even marrying black people, but if you're not fighting to change the laws and to change the outlook of a black person, a woman and man, then you're not really doing much, right? You're not, because anybody who truly loves you will fight for you to have a better image. Will fight for you to, for your rights, for people not to stop killing you on purpose, right? And we've seen several white people do that. We've seen some people do that, but it's not a lot of people. It's less than 1%, right? So what I want, so I think I did a video about this last year about black people. I'm not sure, I can't remember, but I thought I did a video about this about maybe last year or something. That black people, if we stop marching, now it's okay to march, right? But I want black people to stop and think, because black people will march for everybody else's concerns and causes and things that they're fighting for, but you will rarely see black people march for their own rights. And you know what I mean? Like they will march when somebody gets killed, but and that's about it, right? They won't march for their rights, for their reparations, for their dignity, for the what I mean. Like they won't march for stuff like that, and but they will march for for everybody else's culture. They'll march for illegals, alien. They'll march for illegals that are gonna come and take their jobs. They'll march for if white women are feeling abused. They'll march with white women for them feeling abused. They'll march for Native Americans. We've heard some terrible stories about Native Americans, selling some stuff, selling slaves to white people. And I hope that's not true, but I've heard so much stories about that stuff that, and then it's not all Native Americans. It's only, it's maybe half of them that used to do stuff like that. So I don't know, man. You know what I mean? That if it's true, that's sad. If it's not true, thank God, right? But in the past, let the past be the past. No, the past comes with the past can't be the past, because because that trauma goes into your bloodstream, it goes into your DNA, and it goes into your bloodline. So what you're seeing here is from the trauma of slavery, the trauma of Jim Crow, the trauma of all the things that have gone on in America and around the world. It's coming out on people. And these people don't know how to break the curses. They don't know how to break the generational curses. They don't know how to pray. They don't know anything about the spiritual realm. So we're seeing these people that don't know anything about that stuff and how to break these trauma and your bloodline curses off you going all the way back to Adam and Eve. They don't know how to do any of this stuff. So this is why they're out here marching and for everybody else, but not for their cause. Unless a white man shoots a black man, then they're out there marching again, which doesn't do anything. Okay, for them, it just all you're doing is marching. You're holding up your fist and you're marching, but it's not doing anything for you. The only way things change in America is by laws and executive orders. I've been saying it for how long now? You guys know me. That's the only things I study. The three things I study are foreign policy, as laws, and executive orders, because those are the things that change the world, right? If you want change, you don't march, you don't do any of that. You fight, you change the laws. Okay, we saw the LGBT do that very well underneath Obama, right? So, and they came into great power and finance because of that. So that's what you have to do. Marching doesn't do anything unless the laws change. You need to change laws, okay? And you need to demand the things that you want to have. Okay, you need to pray and demand the things that you want. Not just pray, but you gotta fight for the stuff that you want. You want reparations, you want clean water, you want those things that you should already have anyways, but you gotta fight for it if you're not gonna get it, right? But here's what I want black people to do. Step back and think about it. Would all these other people be marching with us? Because most of them don't. Most of these other cultures don't march with black people. There's only a few people that are actually out there. There's always a few white people, and there's always a few Spanish people and Puerto Ricans and Cubans that are marching with black people on their issues, right? So you got to sit back and think, why are you guys all marching for other people's stuff, but no one's marching for your stuff, okay, for your demands and what you want? And another thing is, instead of marching for negative things to change, why don't you start marching because of positive things? I think that is such a huge mindset and such a huge shift in the atmosphere and the universe and the heavens if black people would start marching and start celebrating positive things. I did a video on this, right? And I said, and we haven't done it yet. We still haven't done it. I know there was Arima Karama did I think he's doing the unity walks. Black people get together and they unify, they connect, they talk to each other, and they just walk and they talk and they communicate, and and they respect each other and things like that. So that's good. That's a good start. A unity walk. It brings the black people together, and you get to meet new people in a unity walk, and it's for peace and things of that nature. That's cool. But I want to see black people stop marching for everybody else, because you're not they're not marching for you. Only is very less than 1% is marching for you. Less than 1% is fighting for for the things that you want. If you look, if white people stepped up and said black people need reparations, black people would have already got reparations. It's because many cultures are not stepping up to say black people should deserve reparations. Because the reason why is because if black people receive reparations, that means that the Caucasian people are basically agreeing that they did what they did to black people, and that's hard for Caucasians to admit that, man. Especially Caucasians that didn't have nothing to do with that. That was their ancestors, right? Their great grandfathers and stuff had slaves and stuff. They didn't have slaves, right? So So it's hard for them to say, yeah, my great grandfather and my ancestors did that to black people, right? So that's hard, you know. I mean, you think about it for your own self, and you think, man, imagine me having to say that, you know, my ancestors did harm to let's say Cubans or something. That's very hard. So I understand that. You know, I understand that is very hard to say that we accept that. Man, that is very hard, especially when you had nothing to do with it, right? So I understand that, but I want to see black people start marching for school. Like, you know, people like all the honor roll students. Let's march for that. Let's go out and celebrate and march for honor roll students. Let's go out and celebrate for all the new jobs created. Let's go out and celebrate all the new high school graduates and college graduates. Let's go celebrate all the new doctors and lawyers being created. I think if we put that into the atmosphere, into the universe, instead of marching for all types of negative stuff that are happening to us, we start marching for positive things. And I think when that happens, it would shift the universe and in a big way for black people, because of course when you put positive things out there, you're going to start to see positive results. And I think under Donald Trump, black people are going to see the most wealth they've ever seen in the history of mankind. And that's why I'm very excited about Donald Trump, being in there instead of Hillary Clinton. I was, it would have been over if Hillary Clinton was in there. Black people would never see anything. Like we would be done. We would be actually fighting for our lives right now, because they would have been flooding in refugees like crazy right now, right? And we will be on the verge of going into World War III with Russia and China and everything like that, because Hillary Clinton and the New World Order cannot, are against Russia, right? And of course, China's with them and the BRICS, so NATO would have went to war with the BRICS easily. You know what I mean? So we all would have been like, man, our lives are over, right? Our futures are over, our lives are over, and I don't even think the Iraq. I don't even think Iraq would have even went through. If Hillary Clinton was in there, Iraq would have probably not even go through. Okay, but because Donald Trump was in there, Iraq's going to go through, and I believe black people are going to see the massive wealth transfer under Donald Trump. But a lot of them are going to receive the wealth transfer, and then they're going to curse Donald Trump still. You know what I mean? So even under Obama, they got nothing. They became poor. Black people became poor under Obama, but under Trump, black people are going to receive a wealth transfer, and they're still going to curse Donald Trump. Ain't that something? They praise Obama and they got poor, but under Donald Trump, they're going to be wealthy and they're going to still curse him. And that is crazy to me. And I see it coming. I know it's coming, and there is going to be a wealth transfer. Black people are going to have a lot of money, but we all know what happens in America when black people have a lot of money. So what I'm going to say right now is, for those people that are black and colored people, once you receive the wealth transfer, once you start blessing your family members and friends with this wealth, make sure you guys are not living in the same areas, because we know that don't follow history. Do not repeat history. Okay, when you have this money, when this money comes to you, when all this money comes to you, if you're listening and you receive money from me in the future, and you might be listening to this in the future, if you receive money from me and it helped you get a new house and stuff, or from anybody from Eyes Open Media or 365 crew, because we're going to be helping out the whole world, right? America, and then going out to the world, right? So if you get blessed by any of us, man, make sure that you guys spread the houses around, spread the wealth around, and make sure you guys are not living in the same areas, because you got to learn from Oklahoma, right? What was that, Tuskegee, Oklahoma? Is that when they Black Wall Street, or was that somewhere else? I can't remember. Was that Oklahoma? Or that was Kansas City. I can't remember, Missouri or something like that. But anyways, remember the Black Wall Street got burnt down. Everybody was, Black Wall Street was in one area, and they didn't spread it around America. That was a mistake, because then white people came in there and the racist people came in there and burnt the whole thing down and bombed the whole place, and Black Wall Street was completely annihilated, right? So, and then we go all the way back to other stories where black people had wealth and it was robbed and stolen and they were killed, and burnt down. So what you have to do when you get with your money, black people, is you need to spread out around America and around the world. Do not allow you just to be in one area so you can be burnt down and everything be lost. Spread it out and buy stuff around the world. Okay, so that's it for me. Let's get positive, black people. Let's march for positive things, and we're gonna see a lot of positive results, including a wealth transfer. Eyes open.